to a special ROG Pulse where the RTX 4070 has just been unveiled.
Oh,
And we've got a few different models that we're going to tell you about today and a little bit of details and pricing for some of them that are about to be unveiled to the world.
yeah, this is exciting. So we've been kind of anxious to see what the mid-range of the 40 series is going to be like. We got the 4090, we got the 4080, and we got the 4070 Ti, which was a little bit of a taste of that. But the first card has finally entered the chat for this. The 4070 is here. We've got 5,888 CUDA cores. It is going to be clocked at 2,475 megahertz by default and 12 gigabytes of GDDR6X VRAM on a 198 2-bit memory bus. So this card has all of the features that you would expect from the 40 series cards. We've got G-Sync, we've got DLSS 3, frame generation. We've got all of the NVIDIA technologies that you have come to love. But the MSRP for these is going to start at $599. And we have four cards to share today. The ROG Strix, GeForce RTX 4070, the Tough Gaming variant, and two Asus Duo variants for the first time in the 40 series in black and white with a brand new design. So we're actually going to go a little backwards. We're going to start with the Asus Duo card today, especially because it is going to be the first that's available. And the Asus Dual non-OC card is available for that MSRP of $599. So if you've been dying for an MSRP variant of this card, we have them. All right. So we've got a whole new build for the Asus Dual cards this generation. It's got this kind of like retro futuristic space age design that's like really, really cool and kind of unique, a little bit different than the stuff that we usually do. I really love the look of this backplate. I love the look of the shroud. And when the shroud comes back up, you got to see this. It's got this like semi-transparent part over the top so you can see through to the heatsink underneath. Yeah, there you can see it like along the top of the fans. Right? Really, really cool. It's not it has an all aluminum backplate, right? It's got our new 11 blade Axial Tech fans. So we added these to our 40 series variants on the high end, but we've got it on the dual as well. These are improved from last generation. They have 31% more air volume and more static pressure than their last gen counterparts on like the 30 series. And the dual even has the dual BIOS switch, so you can switch between performance and quiet modes,
Wow.
which is something I really like to do. We always debate which one to use. I like the quiet mode. Jake likes the performance mode. But
go big or go
it's
home.
okay. You can choose. And of course, it's got our 0 dB technology, so that when you aren't gaming, when you aren't really using that GPU, those fans will spin down entirely and be completely silent. So the nice thing about the Dual, besides the fact that this design is just really awesome, with only two fans, the card is only 267 millimeters long, and it's 2.56 slots thick. So this is actually the 40 series card that offers the widest case compatibility of any 40 series card that we currently offer. This is going to fit in your mini ITX build. It's going to fit if you have an old case that can't quite, fit one of the larger cards. And speaking of compatibility, it also uses for power a single 8-pin power connector. So you don't need to worry about upgrading your power supply or getting an adapter or anything like that. You should just be able to drop it in and go. I don't have the recommended power supply numbers for this yet, but you should be able to see it on the product page when this goes up. And this one, the product information will be available tomorrow on our site. So we also have a white variant of this that looks absolutely dope. Oh man, this is so cool. So if you are building a white build, especially like a white mini ITX build, which is just like, I love that aesthetic so much. This is going to be a really cool card, and I like it because that transparent plastic on the top kind of pops a little bit more
really
on the white
does.
card. Yeah, it looks really cool, and I feel like the white really fits that retro futuristic like space age technology kind of design, right? It's like very reminiscent of kind of some old sci-fi films and things like that. A little bit like Tron-esque too.
Yeah.
Yeah, this thing is super, super cool. Yeah, it would totally fit really well with the Prime motherboard. Some folks in chat are saying, and yeah, it's understated without being like bland. Like there is no RGB on this card.
Yeah,
it's got a lot of character, but it's not like it's a different look than something we usually offer. So if you've wanted something with a little bit of a different design to kind of fit that Prime motherboard aesthetic or fit like a really frosty, super clean build, this
Stormtrooper build, it's made for it.
Dude, Yes, that's exactly kind of, yeah, totally right. Yeah, that backplate. So you can also notice on the backplate, it does have a vent, much like the other 40 series cards. But again, the vent is a little bit smaller because the card itself is much more compact. You're going to be able to fit this in any case really easily, but you still got that vent for blowing some of that air out the back of the card, which is nice. I like the way those vents look and how they perform.
Me too.
I'm a sucker for any card that has like a really good looking backplate because that's what you tend to see the most of when it's in horizontally. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm really into this card. We also are going to have a tough gaming variant of this. This is going to look familiar to anyone who's followed the 40 series so far. It's got that same really awesome, really robust design of our tough cards for the 40 series so far. It's got 3.15 slots of thickness on that heatsink, and it's about 301 millimeters in length with the same three 11 blade axial tech fans that we've had all generation. Again, this is going to be familiar to anyone who's seen these before, but it's going to be a little bit of a different size to fit what is required for this card. Wider vent than the dual cards, but the same general shroud design. Uh, it also has an 8-pin power connector for power. So again, if you don't want to deal with adapters, you don't want to upgrade your power supply just yet, you should be able to drop this right in and go. It's got that ARGB tough logo on the side, which by the way, I'm using a tough card in my build. It's slick. It's slick.
Yeah. I love the brand identity of this card at this point. It really looks good.
It does. Yep. And finally, we will also have an ROG Strix variant of the 4070. The ROG Strix variant is 3.12 slots, so it's a little bit thinner than that tough card, which is a pattern that we've seen through the 40 series. A little bit sleeker that way, but it's a little bit longer at 338 millimeters. The Strix card has the same RGB ring, that same RGB Republic of Gamers logo as you've seen on the 40 series, and it is using the 16-pin 12-volt high power connection. So you will need one of the upgraded power supplies or the adapter that I believe should come with it. Here's the other thing, though. If you guys don't know, if you are using a power supply of ours from the recent past that didn't come with a 16-pin cable, you can actually get a 16-pin cable from us. I will pop the link to that promotion in the description of this video because I believe that is live. So if you are buying a new power supply from ROG, even if it's not an ATX 3.0 power supply, it should come with that cable. So that it should not be a problem. You should not have to use that adapter for very long if you're using one of our power supplies. The other extra features of the Strix cards are here too. Not only do you have that dual BIOS switch and all the other good stuff, but you have the two Fan Connect 2 headers. So if you have case fans that are more pointed at your GPU and you want them to fluctuate with the temperature of the GPU rather than the temperature of the CPU, you can plug those case fans into your card, and then with our GPU Tweak 3 software, you can have those fans spin up and down with your GPU, which is a pretty cool feature, especially if you have kind of a more unique case layout. I actually have one where that feature works really, really well. So that is all of our RTX 4070 cards. Really quick video today. We just wanted to show these off. We're very excited to release all of these to the wild. The black dual card will be the first available. That'll be available to purchase tomorrow in the US. In other regions, not sure. You'll have to check your local retailers for availability since it can vary by region. And the tough and the white dual and the Strix cards should follow after that. So keep an eye out for those. We'll be talking about them on stream. So follow us on Twitch, follow us on YouTube for more info. That's that. We're really excited to share these with you guys. Thanks for watching.
And again, everyone in chat, it's $5.99 for the dual
The
card.
black-
The other prices will be
The non
coming
OC
very soon.
version.
Yes.
All of these will have OC versions as well, and the prices will vary a little bit on those. So it depends on kind of where you want to go. But these are starting at NVIDIA's MSRP of $5.99. We can't show the prices for the others yet, but keep an eye out for them because they will hit retailers soon, and you'll see the prices then.
Okay, very good, guys. Stay tuned.